Which low mintage items are the best to buy and which ones are not worth buying? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Empire Precious Metals. Thanks so much for watching. Got a great question today from My Kitten is a Grand Master. Thank you so much, Kitten. And the question was, which low mintage items are the best to buy and which ones aren't worth buying? Now, the only issue with this question is that you could probably talk about this for hours and hours and hours with just different examples and what have you. So I'm just kind of going to talk about this in broad strokes and provide you with just a couple of examples, and hopefully you guys will get the gist. Now, first things first, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I also don't have a crystal ball. I cannot tell you which items are the best and the worst to buy and to stay away from with 100% certainty. However, I will say over the last 6 years, I've had a decent, I guess, feel for the different types of products that are going to do well and not do well, and certain things I stay away from. And obviously there were some things that I've, missed the boat on and wish that I had purchased more of, but you can't always be a winner every single time. So to get right into it, essentially low mintage items, 9 times out of 10, the low mintage items, you usually will always see some appreciation for those particular items, mainly because of the collectability, particularly in gold right now. I would say when you're looking at 10th ounce gold Cockaburas, such as these have done phenomenally well on the secondary market. When they're released, they have a bit of a premium on them, but nothing compared to what they end up doing on the secondary market. I actually haven't had the chance to look at these since gold has had its recent run up. However, these were going for about $100 more than your average 1/10 ounce gold eagle. So something that I would say has a low mintage, part of a series, and also a good price point. When you're talking 10th ounce gold, you have more people that can get into the 10th ounce gold coins than 1 ounce gold coins. I hope that makes sense. So these, for example, definitely buy them. If you've missed out on these so far, we've had 5. You're going to be paying an insane premium for the backdated ones. I had to cough it up because I had, I think, 2 that I was missing, and I just bit the bullet. I'm glad I did, because now I have the whole collection so far, and they're going to continue putting these out. I don't know for how long, but 10th ounce gold Cockaburas. Okay, those are ones that you can usually think that those are always going to do well. Another example is the flowing hair 230th anniversary gold coin. This thing did amazingly well with the secondary market. Slabbed and graded, forget about it, even more pricey. I paid $33.60 on this thing. I forget the exact amount that I paid for. I don't have it up right now, but whatever they were retailed at from the US Mint, $3,360, something like that. They're going for around $5 grand. And the thing too is, you got to keep in mind, when the spot price goes up, it's going to boost up the price as well on the piece. So this item was one that did well because there was a lot of hype. You have to pay attention to the hype. I've always said that, pay attention to the hype. A lot of hype on social media, very limited amount. I think only 1,500, I forget the exact amount. Somebody told me recently when I was talking about this, and I forget, I can't keep track. I think it was like, does it even say in here? Too many words. Somebody's going to post in the comments again. I forget the exact mintage amount, but I think that they were going to mint a certain amount, and then they ended up even doing less. So when something like that happens, you are very, very lucky. So something like that piece, okay? Limited mintage, maybe something under 5,000 on a particular piece is a good gold item to get. When you're talking silver, okay? Low mintage collectible pieces, something that has a very broad range of appeal. So like Star Wars items typically do very well because not only are you dealing with the precious metals collectors, but also all of the Star Wars nerds and what have you. So back here, this thing here, I forget the number of grams, but this is almost like 9 ounces. This is a Death Star coin. Isn't that crazy? The level of detail on this thing. And you can see right there, Niue, the seal of Niue right there on the bottom. But this thing did tremendously well. There was a smaller version than this one, which did very, very well on the secondary market. And they had one of these minted a few years back, and it was like 10 ounces or something. I forget or maybe it was even more. I forget. It looks like a baseball. Thing is going for like 8 or 9 grand last I saw, and I only saw one listing. But pieces like this that are unique, have a low mintage, those typically do well in the secondary market. Issue with the Beskar bars back there. First year of issue, those things did very well, the 10-ounce bars. The only issue now is that every time that they mint more of them, okay, it's the same design. There's nothing different. I understand it's a Beskar bar, but they've been releasing these yearly. And so to me, that detracts from the value. There's nothing now unique. If they left it as the first year, that 1 year that they minted the 10-ounce Beskar bars or the 1-ounce Beskar bars, forget about it. Those things would be so valuable. But companies get greedy. They say, wow, this has done so well. Let's do it again. And so they re-release them the next year and the next year. And that takes away from the value. Okay. These coins back here, another example, and I'm going to talk about these, very important for you to understand in just a moment. Again, all right, these are like the Gangster Coins. There's going to be 4 in this series. So far, there's 3, right? You had Al Capone, then you have Bonnie and Clyde, right? And then right here, let's zoom in on this, all right? Very, very nice. Who the hell is this? Why am I having a brain cramp? Why can't I even read that? Oh, John Dillinger, geez. John Dillinger. Brain cramp for a moment. Those did amazingly well on the secondary market. Go look these up and you will see just how well those did. And the reason being, very unique, high level of detail, broad appeal, an extremely limited mintage. I think 500 per coin. Now, coins that you want to be careful with, and I say again, careful, all right, are coins that might be part of a fad. So the Queen Anne's Revenge coin started off the Black Flag series. This thing was a raging beast when it came to the secondary market. People loved the series. Okay, then we came out with the Royal Fortune. And then they came out with the Red Flag, the Black Flag Ching Shi, and then everybody got all angry that they showed the Pirate Queen on the coin. They said, why would they show a pirate, especially a woman, on the coin, even though she kicked ass and had a fleet of about 1,000 pirate ships under her command? But this series did very well up until this point. And then, because this thing got so much hate, the next couple of coins, they did okay. This coin ended up going up in value because it became more rare because people hated on it so much. But now you're not seeing a whole heck of a lot of hype behind this series. They sold out in the first couple of days, and now whenever there's a release, they stay on the website. AppMex sells them. It's an exclusive. They stay on the website for a while, and they don't really sell that well on the secondary market. So you want to be careful when you are buying low mintage items. You want to be careful on thinking that they're going to hold their values way into the future, because the hype is not going to be there. All right. It's rare for a coin series to continue on for years and years and years and have a tremendous amount of hype. So when you are buying a coin and you're speculating on a coin or a series and you think that they're going to last forever with a high secondary market demand, it's not always the case. So be careful. So I would say when you're buying something like this, you want to sell into the hype. Do not hang on to those items for very long. Luckily, I haven't held on to many of these coins for very long, and they have come down in value. Good opportunity for you guys and for people that were selling them and buying them for much higher. You know, now the market is kind of not interested. Same thing with this too. I'll be quick. This thing was so popular. The Revolver coin, very popular. Everybody loved this. And then they started to release multiple versions of this. And then they kept on coming out with new pew-pews of the series. And they did not do so well in terms of sales. You could look at the secondary market. The market has come down tremendously on those coins. Originally, they were selling like hotcakes. So, all right, to kind of recap, low mintage, low cost point gold, and high hype gold with low mintage, those things are the ones that you want to stay tuned into and buy and get those. That's kind of what you want to do. Silver, high appeal, like a Star Wars licensed product or Marvel or something that is unique and has a very low mintage. Those you can typically count on doing well. And then these types of coins, low mintage, high demand, but be cautious with the hype and how long that the hype will last for. Be cautious buying those types of coins. It's more of a feel, guys, than anything. I hope that you kind of get an idea as to what it is that I'm talking about in this video, which coins are good to buy and which ones are not. Stay focused in social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you pay attention, you can kind of get a feel as to what the hype is. People are talking about it on message boards. That can give you an indicator as to how popular an item will be. Let me know in the comments below. Have you gotten burned on any, collectible piece, such as the ones I've shown here? Have you done very well? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.